I didn't raise my voice when the words left her mouth. I need your room. You'll have to move out. She didn't blink. I think she expected me to break. Maybe cry, maybe shout. But I did none of that. I just stared at her. My father's fiancée, pregnant, self-satisfied, standing in my kitchen like she owned the very air I was breathing. The knife in my hand wasn't for her, it was for the onions in front of me. I kept chopping. I'd seen this kind of thing before, someone stepping across a line they didn't even know existed until they were halfway over it. The only difference this time was that I had already set the trap. When Dad first told me he was dating someone, I wanted to be happy for him. He'd been lonely for years. She showed up with soft smiles, flattering laughter, and a habit of brushing his arm as if it were second nature. She told me I was like the little sister she'd never had. I told her this house had been in my name since Mom passed. Her smile widened. That's smart. You're a smart girl. I should have recognized the warning in that moment. At first, things were fine. She cooked, kept Dad occupied, and didn't interfere with me. But after a few months, something shifted. She began making little suggestions about changing the house, rearranging furniture, and hinting that my bedroom was far too large for just one person. Then one night, Dad said they had big news. She was pregnant. He looked like a man who'd been given a second shot at life. I smiled for his sake, not hers. That's when the cracks appeared. Dad started deferring to her on everything. Finances, plans, even repairs I'd always handled myself. She kept her phone practically glued to her hand, typing quick, secretive messages. I didn't pay much attention, until the day I overheard them in the living room. She needs to be independent, she whispered. This house is wasted space for her. She's my daughter, Dad replied quietly. She's an adult, she snapped. We'll need her room for the baby. I stood frozen in the hallway, taking in every word. And in that moment, I decided she was going to regret underestimating me. The plan began silently. I didn't confront them. I didn't warn her. I called my lawyer, the same one I'd had since Mom left me the house. We reviewed the title deed, clear and undisputed. My property. No shared ownership. No loopholes. Next, I upgraded the security, cameras, smart locks, and a new alarm system. All under my control. I visited the bank and set up a trust, locking every financial thread firmly in my hands so Dad couldn't touch anything without my approval. Then I waited. 2 months later, she cornered me in the kitchen. Her pregnancy was impossible to miss now. You should start packing, she said, tilting her head like she was doing me a favor. Packing? I asked. Yes, she replied impatiently. We'll need your room for the nursery. My knife kept moving. Slice. Slice. This is my house, I said quietly. She laughed, short and dismissive. Well, it's your dad's, and soon mine too. You can't expect a baby to sleep in that tiny guest room. I set the knife down and wiped my hands. You should really check public records before making assumptions, I said. Her smile faltered. The confrontation came quicker than she'd expected. The very next morning, my lawyer sent her a formal eviction notice, 30 days to vacate, addressed to her personally. Dad burst into my room later, his face flushed. What the hell is this? It's a legal eviction, I said evenly. She's not on the deed. Neither are you. This house is mine. He opened his mouth but nothing came out. She tried to rally. You can't do this. I'm pregnant. I can, I said. And I will. You tried to force me out of my own home. Now you lose. After that, she stopped speaking to me completely. Dad tried negotiating, asking if they could stay until the baby was born. I reminded him about the cameras, the trust, and the fact that every legal document was in my name, and theirs wasn't anywhere. When the moving truck arrived, she wouldn't even look at me. I stood in the doorway, watching each box leave. The nursery she had imagined was empty. My room was untouched. After they left, the house felt bigger, cleaner, like it could breathe again. Dad still calls sometimes. We talk, but never about her. The baby was born somewhere else. Not my concern. Do I feel bad? No. She walked into my life assuming she could take what belonged to me. When I stand in my doorway now, I remember the moment she told me to leave, the smug curl of her lips, the the steady weight of the knife in my hand as I kept chopping onions. She thought she was pushing me out. She never realized I'd already pushed her out in my mind the second those words left her mouth. Some believe revenge should be loud and messy. But the best kind? It's quiet, legal, and leaves them wondering at what point they actually lost.